People get too wrapped up in trying to have this crazy uniform canopy, and they neglect the fact that they need light penetration to set any kind of decent bud. So with a lot of the strains, I'll just pinch the tops of plants, and what that does is it'll signal the plant to send hormones to those bottom and lateral branches, and what we generally get is a similar effect to topping, but we don't stop the plant growth at all.
Well, thanks for showing me your bedroom and mother room. Let's go check out the flowers.
Yeah, we got one right next door. Let's go check them out.
Heavy rain.
Our Cannabis team tours some of the best cannabis cultivation facilities in the world, learning the best products, techniques, and methodologies. Did you also know that we help design and build the most productive commercial cannabis facilities? If you need help building, retrofitting, or optimizing your operation, fill out the form in the description below to work with the world-class professionals and scientists at Cannabis Consulting, bringing you the best practices on the most renowned farms.
So Vincent, you kind of just came into this facility recently. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to upgrading and some of the plans you have for the future of this facility?
Luckily, this facility has everything we need. In terms of the equipment, I wouldn't probably add or subtract anything, and it's really just mostly changing some of the SOPs in which the plants are taken care of.
Let's talk about what you got going on in here.
We're in one of our 5 flower rooms. Each one has 64,000 watt plus double emitters in it. We have 30 tons of AC, and we do all the dehumidification with Quest 506s.
So I've used Quest for years and years. Say enough good things about Quest.
Same exact experience. I've used Quest 225s, the 335s, the 506s. I've had like no problems with them. The only issues I've ever had is people wiring them incorrectly. I know John Pratt came through and worked with Alex to help him get those installed at the other facility and get it all dialed in. So
yeah, it's like the tried and true standard of the industry, and I find they put off less heat offset.
I have found that too, that we can run those right over our canopy, obviously not blowing directly on the plants, but we don't find the same heat spots as I have with a lot of other dehumidifiers.
How do you control your nighttime swings when you have the lights off and the plants start to perspire and you get those temperature and humidity swings?
That's a great question, because that's a thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration. We begin to drop it 30 minutes before the lights turn off, and that helps us blunt that transpiration spike. So we put one set point where it starts and one where it ends, and Quest do the rest pretty much.
Let's talk about genetics. So what are some of the genetics you have going on?
Luckily also, I came into this facility, there was tons of genetics here. Culture's been working with a lot of different breeders and nurseries. We have stuff from all over the state, and more specifically in this room we have phenos from Sherbinski that we're testing out for him. We have 4 tables in here of new phenos. He's going to be able to preview them at his 420 celebrations.
Nice. So you guys are running the Sensi Professional Series from Advanced Nutrients, and that's an R&D effort, right?
You know, with so many different salt companies, we're just trying to see what's working. We've had some issues with things clogging irrigation lines and stuff like that. You know, if you're mixing 50 to 100 pounds of salts at a time, if you were to get that in a blended line of some sort, so now we're talking about, I don't know, 3 or 4 55-gallon drums if we're going that route. So it's cool that Advance is, you know, taking the concept of having optimized nutrition for your plants and not just putting it in bottles, but actually making it in salt for commercial growers. They've been willing to work with us pretty well on like adjusting EC levels and tailoring it to the specific genetics that we have in the facility, and not just giving us a blanket, you know, cookie cutter.
saxophone? Yeah, sounds good. This moment, as an artist, you dream about stuff like this. I couldn't be more thankful. I did not expect this when we were coming out to Jamaica, so yeah, man. Life goals. Surrounded by greed, yeah, the streets is my playground. Clean smoke, when I want the shit they spray down. And Cuban link dance in the sun, just like James Brown. Brought a jar full of seeds up to 9 Mile. I'm with your girl while I watch your world spin. Burger camp, say prayers, try to watch your world damn news. I'm in the mayor, dream seat. Do give thanks for the gathering. I ain't seen you in a minute. I was wondering how have your sister and your brother been? And how are your pops and moms managing? For me it's business as usual, traveling, soaring like a javelin. Keep it up, javelin. We're trying to stop the lead up some squabbling and spread one love instead of being gobbling. You know, when you think about it, music and weed have something in common. They both play a major role in people's day, in their life. The world needs something like this right now. After we finished up at the studio around 2 a.m., Damien took us down the street to the museum, opened up the doors, and again gave us a private tour. Trying to soak all this up. It's pretty wild when you think about it. We may go inside.
Alright, let's see if we can keep this streak going, baby.
I want to say this is that Sunday Mass. And my father drew more people than folk. And that this particular Sunday is so the case, right? Because there's some more people than the Pope. Yeah, I don't really know about the Catholic people. It's Sunday Mass, like Catholic, but that kind of establishment of those churches that they kind of is brainwashing masses and manipulating, you know, religious belief. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big deal for us. As when this happened, we started as like you know, this was like a fulfillment of prophecy for us. And in that kind of way, you know what I mean? Yeah, or that particular concept. You know what? We got like I said, the player tour is here.
You know you cuz.
Yeah, we've had a great night. We gotta come check it out on a good vibe. Like, yeah. My boy got that big old joint. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's still going. That smile says it all. It's around 3:30 in the morning, 3:45.
The NFL brings us to the Sunshine State at
It's supposed to be heavy rain. Is it heavy rain?
A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars.
Yeah, it's heavy enough.
As the Jags are ready to match up with the Dallas Cowboys.
Motherfucker.
Set to go down in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That one goes. It skips from the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Best chicken we had since we've been here. Best chicken in Jamaica so far since I've been here.
Wrong defense.
Look, we've been here for 3 days. This is the best meal we've had since we've been here, right? Yes, right there. This is the best jack chicken. What time is it? Best jack 4 in the morning right now.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. They'll roll it down right. Short little throw to Emo.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We got Wilson to deal with over there.
A little glimpse of his athleticism there, what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And when you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week, because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him balled up, keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play and gave up a bigger one instead.
That's what I said. Come from California and then Jamaica. This is the best meal you ever eat.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. They'll buy some time.
Okay.
He's picked off at his own 46. And
We'll take that.
at the 35-yard line. Remember, Charles, this this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they try to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, the offense plays awfully well, too.
Sometimes it promotes the hermaphroditic.
That's what's up.
So getting that male pollen always gives you
Good positive words.
source back to where it's supposed to be. It's kind of a mutant by nature, a female, and female isn't really supposed to, but she does that. So once you do have that male pollen, that's when you're able to kind of stabilize and get some of those traits. You can definitely add in.
I think your question is more what's going to come out of this future, lamb's bread or the cookie? It's going to be 50, 25, 25, or 50, whatever. So you're going to find one.
Good D.
That's why I said a week before.
They go backwards there, 2 yards, and second and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
And then 2 months later, we should smoke it all.
But that's why it's good keeping that one stable male or that female from that F1, so you always go back into that. You have granddaddy there making sure that, the lineage stays stable to that one, that first male.
Hold on to that rock, baby.
First down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So a first catch for him in the ball game. And the scuttlebutt has been, he's not getting enough touches, enough catches, not feeling involved enough in the offense, so maybe that can get him going.
Scuttlebutt? What the fuck is that? Come on, man. Let me get to that outside. Good shit.
Some of the best weed we have ever
So you got to figure out which one you're interested in.
That was all me. That was all me. Too tight.
Pound cake, I'm gonna pick one more. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna do 2 varieties. I'm gonna do pound cake. I probably have to say.
Here's
And we have males of pound cake, so we could go both ways, and females we could sell it, and then back into chemistry with the males, so we could see both of them, like examples of what a 50-50 split would be, and who's showing more exotic traits, and like, you go both ways with the same concept.
All right, good drive, fellas. Let's play some D.
I remember you saying that somebody pushed, that always. No, you should get some of that ultimate, so it's not. You should get that so everywhere you can.
The herbals have kicked in, all the way in. He put this motherfucker out.
Like, if we were in the studio right now, right, and we're smoking OG, I wouldn't mind it because.
Yeah, we feeling good right now, baby.
I think I gotta move. But if we're just watching TV at the house, I'm smoking OG. My mind starts spinning. I can't focus on the TV.
To begin the next drive.
Like,
They end up playing a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open day on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to get the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game.
Way to trip.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
It's too many yards, though.
The Cowboys, they were fantastic a week ago in a win over Houston.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Second down, back to Sanders.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in, but if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to have a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So that's what I'm saying, this was the first real community game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 7 yards.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Matt Milano able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive to either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting savaged.
There we go.
It's intercepted. Picked off by Jason.
I take it. I take it.
Return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball over grabs the rest of the ball game.
So it goes hand in hand, and you know, again,
The first
I
down
know
carry,
these guys are goes hand in
and
hand.
he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second
that they're
down.
talking about, they're meant to be no stronger than they were in the original form of when you count them, right? So it's really some, yeah, because they went through, but if you have the Exodus skunk or cheese, whatever you want to call it, from the early 70s, it's still the same one. So all of this herb that we're seeing now, these higher percentages of THC, that's how they always work. Because when you ask the elders, they say that the herb that they get to know is way more stronger than what they. Yeah, because it's more variety now.
After
Like
1,
someone will
7-0
find something that
on
smells
the
really good, tastes really good, but may not yield really good, or may not have a lot of trichome crystals on it. They're like, let's cross it with this, and then they boom, they give it that, and then it brings out what it was missing. So naturally, they're just improving it.
So when you talk about indigenous Jamaican strain, what does that really mean? Because marijuana is not from here.
Second and 10.
Cannabis is not from here, right? So technically nothing. I guess even if it's a combination of herb from different places, does it mean that this
Brady now to throw.
that particular combination is only found here?
Good D. Good D. Good D.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, and what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. What do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
You and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, they lost 5 and 6
What nobody knows, if you go into India, you go to 1,200 meters in Pravati or Manali or those places, and you take a sativa plant, and you bring them high up to 3,000, you change it to an indica plant,
As he can only get to the 20.
that was the best of the because we thought there were 2 different families.
We didn't just planting the seed alone, not over years.
No, directly.
One generation, one pool.
Yeah, you put it down and you put it, yeah, which is pretty weird. You know, I still can't figure that out, and I spoke to many people about it. Nobody has an answer, so.
So there's a difference between what you use as a male and what you use as a female when you're doing the real pollen. Yeah, absolutely. Because the male will be what's the difference of it? The simple female pollen that comes from a female plant and produces female offspring. So if you get another female plant with that pollen, no male seeds, no nothing, you're going to go ahead and you're going to have, you can plant those, and they say 99.9% is going to be the female. The male will produce male and female seed, which you definitely do need, and that becomes like usually that's one of your staples. You always need a male and female cross to begin to your beginning point, you know. So if you pollinate female plants, with female pollen, yes, the female plant produces seeds.
The give is to Elliott. And they get to him quickly.
Good shit.
Around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you play strong safety in the NFL, you are a true hybrid.
And that's how smart she is. If she's under certain stress or certain things, she's so smart. Even if female head doesn't even nail, she's gonna go ahead and kick off, make sure she carries on her story, you know. So that's the beauty of it. One of the beauties of the feminized pollen, what I love, you know.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Brady. He's going to be off the mark. Too far out in front. Maybe a little over anxious in the pocket there.
Yeah, that was on me.
I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident when he saw downfield. And almost felt like he would have pulled that one back.
I did.
Cowboy touchdown.
Interesting.
Travis Etienne, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Very
Regard now for the extra point.
and are heading up to Dub Club.
Motherfucker.
And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect. And this remains a 13-0 game.
Now we just ran 2 times. What a vibe.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview, Barry goes back out to kick this one off. And not much on this one. Takes it for the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try to get things settled down a little bit.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start
Good shit.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So
A good gain on first, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Sativa dominant. Our piece range is 30 to dominant range.
So going to sun like greenhouse or outdoor?
Outdoor.
Yeah, outdoor. Even this one, that looks beautiful.
It's a skirt outdoor.
Here's Sanders.
Oh.
And a 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling.
Yes, so that's as a push.
Got a good nose still.
Yeah.
Huh. That's nice. Oh. Yeah. This is a CBD one.
Yes.
It's mellow. It's not too much.
Play action. Now Wilson. That's complete to Disley.
Good move. Damn.
Taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That last pass might be one he remembers, Charles. He's now over 40,000 career passing yards.
Just think of the evolution of the passing game in the NFL. 40,000 at one time was unthinkable. No one thought anyone would ever get there. Now, how many guys have done it in the NFL?
And right around 20.
So we're talking a good number that have gotten that done, throwing the ball downfield. He's got a lot to be proud of and a lot more left to accomplish.
Some OG, baby. I need that right now.
On first down, Wilson. Short throw to Disley. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
These other markets are opening up over here. You got Jamaica, you got the Bahamas opening up. You got all these other places. So this is right here is, I feel like, one of the most powerful collaborations because you got the whole world. If we're going to open a dispensary out here, where's the first place we should
Once
go?
we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, and he'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Yeah. That's definitely that's our flagship. That's going to be our baby. It's going to be on postcards and merchandise. And when people show up, what are we going to do with the weird? Are we going to go to the indoor? Or are we going to go to the
Ah, my fault. Good shit.
But we have to do our locals so they can still want to get down here. Everyone has weed out, right? Like you walk in as a weed connoisseur, right? And you traveled from somewhere you're not allowed to smoke. You come from Virginia, and you walk into our dispensary, and you've seen everyone on camera, all the rappers showing the bundles off the vine. It's more personal if you buy it off the vine because you have to get it, you have to cut it off yourself. You just feel like you bought, you know, from the plug. Like when you come here and you get it at the fish market, you know that they went to a grower and they grabbed it like that.
What is y'all doing? Good shit.
And his confidence was rewarded.
Yeah, man, sticky.
Extra point by Gabe is up and good. Lead will shrink to 6.
We're going to take some of the classic genetics in Jamaica.
We're gonna blaze back up, baby.
Touchdown, here's Gabe to kick it away.
Which means we'll have maybe 20 to 120 jars on the table. We have to go through each one. Go through the smell, the taste, the benefit, feel, the high. Just find which ones stick out to us. It's a collaboration that is next level that people are not going to be expecting. It's two different worlds coming together for the same mission. This trip really reminded me of how big of a role cannabis plays all around the world. To
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And with still more than a minute to go into halftime to try to mount a drive. And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got
God damn, we almost fucked that up.
analytics will tell you. Try and score when given the opportunity.
Alright, let's make the most out of this possession.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Brady. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
That open the mind up, that are interesting, that are timeless.
Facing zone coverage, if he has
And
just
the
a little
world we
bit of
live in
time to
today,
survey the
so
scene,
much
that's what's going
fake
to
shit
happen.
going on.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure on the passer.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
About January 6th. This comes as the National Archives has asked the Secret Service to investigate, saying they are aware of the, quote, potential unauthorized deletion of agency text messages. Gordon Hiddell is the former assistant director of the Secret Service. He was also previously inspector general of the Defense Department and Labor Department. Joins us now. Gordon, great to see you. Thank you for being with us. We hope you can provide insight into what's going on. I just want to remind our viewers of the timeline here. Congress informed the Secret Service they needed to preserve and produce documents related to January 6th.
Again, it's
on
Brady.
January 16th, 2021, and again on January 25th,
I got a piss. Timeout, bro. All right, we ready. We ready.
For records. But, you know, first of all, we don't know exactly what is missing here. And the service either has records or they don't. I do know that the Secret Service has a process, and it's a good process, at least in my memory, for how it handles and maintains all records, to include...
They've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
By accident. So, I think the service has to move very quickly on this because time's working against them. And I think, you know, they're an agency that's enjoyed the status of being one of our nation's most elite organizations. And I think they have to work to maintain that.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Gordon, based on what you know, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Now Brady again.
Is there any logical explanation?
Let's it fly for Thielen.
Okay then. Look at him. That's what's up.
His first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. So what can Brady do here is he'll lead his guys up to go for 2.
Has a system for protecting and preserving all of
Brady's going to look to throw.
It's the responsibility.
Come on, man. Too slippery, I guess.
The try for 2 is going to come up empty.
Particularly not the category of those. You know, the
set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
For such, and I'm talking about intelligence.
From way up at the 23. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Leaders in the Secret Service to be especially sensitive to the need to preserve and protect this record. So I think they have a perception problem, if not a real problem.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. With them down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
Is obligated to be forthcoming and clear this up as soon as possible.
You made an allusion, Gordon, to Tony Ornato, who is someone who worked for the Secret Service and then was brought in as a
Wilson.
as deputy chief of staff.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Talk to me about
they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Rolling to his right. He's going to look deep for more. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
Focus of their job, which is to protect the president and vice president. And so, in this case, you had a special agent who happened to be one of the executives, moved over to the White House, probably obviously.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 45. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a
motherfucker.
Sometimes your receivers find their way open, and oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field.
Sorry.
Those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The way they set it up created a lot of problems for the Secret Service and appearances and so on. So, politics you want to keep out of it.
Gordon Goodell, thank you so much. I think he gave us a much better understanding of everything that's going on here. And just to be clear with you, I'm looking at Tony Ornato.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
She says told him about events that happened in the president's vehicle that day.
Something that they've later tried to dispute, but of course she's testified, and that's why I could go over his questions. Well, if she's testifying and you're disputing it, that
forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
To return, it's Cam Sutton.
Secret Service was only able to provide a single touch.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Worth of records for 24 Secret Service personnel, according to a letter containing the committee obtained by CNN. Hello, Jeffrey. Any plausible explanation for this, you think?
This is based on our colleague Jamie Gangel's reporting. This just is pathetic. I mean, this is just unbelievable that something so important and so obviously important even at the time. I mean, this
about
isn't
set
like
for this next
the
drive by the Cowboys offense.
Later,
and Charles, they got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
Obviously,
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, go on, get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
How did this possibly happen? And who's responsible? And most importantly, where are all these questions? Cry out for answers.
Well, how can this be? Is the question?
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's second and 3.
An agency like the Secret Service, Jeffrey, and what they do.
Well, right. I mean, how can this be? Is obviously the right question, and there are two possibilities. One possibility is incompetence, which is something that I believe
motherfucker.
He'll be brought down about the 28. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
But
third and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends.
Alternatively, was there some sinister activity, an attempt to ditch correspondence that they didn't want to see?
Trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. That'll make it 4th down after the loss of 1.
Somebody's got to figure out what happened.
The earth beneath our feet is the very foundation of life. It provides us and countless other creatures with nourishment. Yet we destroy it. We poison it, pour concrete over it, and exploit it.
Brady to throw
A third
on
of all
4th down.
fertile soil worldwide.
And this is Cook with the grab.
Building it back
And he's able to get to first before he's taken down at the 36.
of 30 to 40.
I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on, or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
On 1st down.
Good shit.
Second and 8 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Ooh, his DBs stink. Man, your DB's over. Yeah. God damn. We got lucky to the motherfucker. We can't have no more of that shit. The fuck?
I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding
Ooh, wait.
With a plow. Now this is my machine.
Failure to connect on 2nd down. That leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
The prongs only collar the surface of the earth. A plow, on the other hand, penetrates.
All right. You gotta respect it. Good shit.
On this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turn their ball over back to their offense, and try to get back into this game.
A couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
I loosen it and make sure I don't go too deep, and that I work with the smallest possible quantities.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think partly you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
Conventional agriculture is different. Crops consume nutrients from the earth. Artificial fertilizer is added as needed.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw.
Plowing, monocultures, and pesticides.
Incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sideline and in the huddle looking at each other.
I had a serious accident which made me change my business pretty quickly.
They go play action with
I
Wilson.
survived. I had a lot of guardian angels.
Go out, go out. My man.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
He was in hospital, severely injured, for a long time, and began to think about what he really wanted to leave his children. They would inherit dead soil if he continued to farm as he had been. The farmer decided that if he survived, his fields would get a new lease of life as well. He found help close to his farm. So 3 local communities joined forces to build the catch right side. This is Sanders. Their aim is to rebuild humus. Garrett Woods
all the way down to the 26.
He and fellow campaigners shared knowledge of the so-called humus academy.
This is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Become more fertile by the year, and how earthworms are valuable team members.
The earth wasn't created by God, but excreted by earthworms. With enough earthworms, stones disappear. They just get buried in rainworm feces, the most stable kind of
Here's a
humus.
quick throw caught by Smith. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Garrett Woods was one of the founders of the eco-region, which has since been imitated all over Europe. People here say agriculture needs a radical shift in mindset.
In the last decades, we mastered the art of extracting the maximum from the soil. Back then, we didn't know that the soil would get progressively weaker, and that more and more humus would be lost. The problem is that farmers' experience is built on a system which degrades soil, and which works.
Damn, that was me. Good shit.
Down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Begins with theory classes and gives farmers a chance to share experiences. Afternoons are spent
Oh yeah, go to turnover, baby.
see, feel, and smell what makes for healthy and humus-rich soil. Mainlois in southern Germany, a small town doing big things. Here too, the soil is to be revived. This colossal building in the middle of town is the former
My man.
The industrial ruin is the size of 20 football fields.
And that moves him back 5.
Robert Bosch wants to change this. He's been mayor since 2016, but the politician from the Christian Social Union grew up here and recalls the time when the spinning factory was still in use.
I remember the smell. I worked here in my school holidays between the age of 15 to 17. My job was to clear these shafts of the fluff that had gathered during the year.
In its heyday, 3,000 people worked at the spinning plant. It went bankrupt during the economic crisis of 2008.
There we go.
Since then, the old factory has been falling into disrepair and unnecessarily sealed.
Good shit.
Have a plan.
So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Like Mainlois.
These places relied on industry. Back when it was growing, no one thought about the environment, so large areas were concreted over.
Still time here in
I
this
think there's a big
quarter,
potential to
maybe you
actively
start thinking
change
about
things.
playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just
The
thinking
will to
first
change
downs.
things in my
To keep
voice
up
is
with your
strong.
theme there, playing keep
Many
away,
of the old factory
first
rules,
downs,
as well
they
as the
can't touch
concrete
the ball.
flooring, are to be gotten rid of, so that in just a few weeks, rain can fall on the soil again.
Right here is where we will first tear open the concrete. Then we will cultivate the soil beneath. On this spot, there will be a connecting path to the park. The rest will be a green area. We don't know what the ground is like under here because the building has stood on it for over 100 years.
The plans for the town centre are represented on this model. The past can easily
Damn, 11 rushes, 17 yards.
They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
any old halls, and plenty of green spaces.
Here we have the park with the lake. The buildings have gone, so the water can get back into the earth. The surface water will have a positive effect on the microclimate, and water will be able to drain again.
This means the new town centre will be able to better withstand climate change, and the living soil will extract CO2 from the atmosphere.
From the
It's a
gun, it's
concept
Brady.
that should attract public funding.
Ooh, good shit.
The idyllic beauty of this countryside is deceptive.
Good shit.
Still contaminated from the GDR years.
I'm about to blaze back up on that note, goddammit.
Last week, that's a turnover. They didn't have any, but
To this day, the area poses a threat to human
surprise in your voice.
Yeah, that was good shit right there.
Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and get this rock right back from you, cuz.
Schaefer want to eliminate that danger and revive the soil so that it's healthy or even useful again. They're spending a week
After the interception, here's Wilson.
together with students and researchers.
Come on, man. You're supposed to pick that off.
They're investigating
It's
water,
knocked
soil,
away and
and plants.
incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that.
In
And it's not a good
1949,
day when you
largest
feel like an
uranium
incomplete
reserves were
pass
found here.
is almost a win
They
for
were
you because it
exploited
wasn't
for the Soviet
intercepted. I
atomic
think the
industry.
receivers now, when they're running their
Workers
routes, they
extracted
want to
the
catch
ore
the
from
ball,
the mine
but they also want to make sure that
unprotected.
the defenders don't take it
Acids
away.
were used in the
Here's
uranium
a throw right
extraction.
side, taken in by his tight end. Inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Lung diseases.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
The toxic burden still weighs heavy today. But thanks to biology, even this contaminated soil could be made useful for cultivation again. This takes the right bacteria, fungus and plants
Off the
working
play
together.
fake, here's
They
Wilson.
can't remove the heavy metals, but they can capture them in mineral
Toward the
form,
end zone,
refine them
that's
into
gonna
Damn, I'm too slow.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the
Captured
ball. But he's
here
made some
means
pretty bad
holding the
decisions with the
toxins so that
football
they can
lately.
no
There's
longer get
several
into
bad
water,
decisions on the
leaves, or
interceptions
wood.
he's thrown, and
They
frankly, that
effectively
should have been
become
another pick
immobile.
right there.
The solution could help to remediate contaminated soil not only in the site, but in many places around the world.
This here is a test
2nd and
field,
10.
a small
Wilson
one.
again.
But the idea is
Caught by
transferable
Sanders.
to the former
Good shit.
7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
all areas impacted by mining where currently nothing is growing.
Researchers cannot give a precise figure as to how
throw
much
again
land
is
area is
Wilson.
affected, but we know
Good shit. We got a game to get.
And the Jaguars have made it a one-score game again. Here in the 4th. Here's Gay now to add the extra point.
6 months ago, the students put special bacteria into the earth.
All right, fellas. We gotta hold it down for 4 minutes.
Started to capture the toxins.
If there are a lot of microorganisms that are breathing, then there's a lot of activity in the soil. Then it's a healthy soil.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
Quit playing around, fellas.
Due to the heavy metals, and not many
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock defensively. They have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit and you tell them here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground.
The D.
Protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Cowboys first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
And that pickup of the first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this will probably get away from them.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to run some clock now, and they'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here to have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Charles, third down. Any chance you're throwing?
No, I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Brady to throw.
Ooh-wee. What the fuck?
About a second ago, they decide not to keep it on the ground, and now the incomplete pass, that really changes things.
It certainly does, because you want the clock running. And now with it stopped,
That's crazy.
life into this game.
Fuck it, we got weed, man.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Back to throw. Brady. And Allen's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. It's a pickup before, and it'll bring up second down. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Now a second down and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
This will be play number 9 of the drive. It's only 4 yards on third down. This is Elliott. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
Good game.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless for the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, as Goose said in the second half, fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Cowboys, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in week 8.
produce with my wide receiver, though.
Playing time. Oh, hell yeah. They gonna look at no camera when they see this shit.
Oh, damn.
I don't think we'll be complaining much.